Hello and welcome back to Factorio. I'm Ivan. We have yellow science, which means that we can do everything. We can actually research logistic systems now. And we started it in the last episode, but I cancelled because modules. So a couple of these modules in one of the science facilities is going to increase its output by 20%. And that's huge. What it's also going to do is make them use plus 160% power. So they are going to use not 3 times as much, but 2.5 times as much power, a bit more. And I guess that's quite major, but priorities. Oh, and we didn't even get to the end. Okay. So what I'm going to do is what am I going to do? Oh, of course, geez. The easiest way to do it is to remove the science facilities themselves, I guess. Or we can remove the input. But I think by removing the science facilities themselves, what we could do was we could be lazy and just start the science. Let's look at this. So it is making, it's not making 1 a minute, but it's not that far off. And we need 17, so 34 minutes and 5, that's 17, that's 22. So we need 44, probably almost an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, remove it, and I like that the science is going to my inventory. That's good, because that lets us repurpose it to not all of it did. Okay, well, some of it did. So let's put it into a machine here. Good, and good. So we start the science. This science is going to take a very long time now because they research really slow and there is very few of them. But that's fine. It's happening at least. It's not that slow. The logistic system is going to be major as well, and it's probably going to be a major power sink. So let's look at the CoverX now. CoverX is probably with a K. Yes. So that's something we need as well, and that's going to take half a year, almost, close to. So let's do logistics first, and maybe maybe do some more steam, or maybe do some solar. I'm always very stingy when it comes to power in this game or power plants in this game, and I don't really know why, because it's not a very expensive building to build, and it's very easy to just tear it down and blow up the box later, really. It's not something that's a big loss. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to help out our power system by using efficiency module 1s, because we already made those. And I think that's actually going to help a lot, because this is negative 60%, I believe. Yes. So let's do that. The smelters, the electric smelters, are some of the most power intense things in, well, probably not in the game, because beacons and stuff is using a lot more. But this is a huge strain when you get to this point. So lowering that by 60% is quite massive. Let's see. So it went from 22-ish megawatts to 13. So we save around 10 megawatts, which is 1/15 of what we have available. That's quite decent, actually. Good. I'm happy with that, very happy with that. And we got to use these as well, and those didn't really have a use. So stuff is happening. We have all the sciences. We need more lamps in the sciences, so we can look at them from space and think, wow, we did a really good job. Or, you know, judge what we did in a more negative manner, but I'm trying to be positive. So, oh, trains, that's fun. The speed through those, that's so funny. Should we set up a different train? No, because we already solved that. We are keeping these smelting at all times now, I believe. Although I'm not sure why it's not draining enough for these to put stuff on the belt. 28. Yeah, why isn't it? I guess it's because it stopped for a while and it takes a while to catch up. I don't know. But the belt is flowing at all times, so it should be fine. So what am I going to do today? I think today is going to be a firefighter episode where we stop potential fires, or is going to be the logistic network if we get there, I guess, sooner rather than later. I think we're going to be a bit sneaky here and do that. That's going to eat some power, but it's also going to make stuff a bit faster. So we take half of these and put here as well. Now this will only be a temporary boost. After that we might as well pick these out, because these will run out of product and these will run out of product. So, but now we have 9, 9, that means 10 in our inventory, which means 5 more science facilities, science labs. So let's fix that first, because that should almost double our science output. And if we had the power, but I think we do have the power right now. So let's, I don't want to run up there. Robots, help, help, help. So 1 stack of those. Thank you. Hopefully it's in the correct box and it will arrive. And hopefully, of course, these are in the box, yes. So let's request a stack of those as well. That's beacon food. So this is a stage of the game where we really want to use modules for everything together with beacons, but we don't have the modules or the beacons to do that properly. And one, hold on. Yeah, not you. Go away. Yeah, we don't have modules or beacons to do that, but we want it. So beacons are going to misalign like so. Ah, that fits perfectly. And then hopefully we have yeah, we do have space for, let's see, these hit 3, this one only hits 2, so let's remove that. And let's module these. And 10. Not that, these. Okay. So let's do one here. So how much faster is the science now? Now it should be fast, but it should also be very power hungry. Yeah, 5 megawatts in only those, and the science facilities was bad, but the power use went up 5-fold. So I saw the electricity spike, and that was most likely because something was shooting. Yes. Good. Logistic system. Okay. So if science labs work faster, they actually use less electricity per science done. But let's see. Do we have, I'm going to just check something. Productivity, the speed is plus 160%. No, it's plus 68%, even though we have modules in it. So it's not that bad. I'm going to keep it as is for now. But of course, because of the science, it makes up for the negative effects of the modules. And the speed stacks additively. So so this isn't that bad. Now let's see. After the logistic system is done, like it is, our robot speed, that's nice. But we were going to do military. So let's set up some recycling now. This is such an important part of the game, the logistic system. And even though we aren't going to do bot bases, we're going to try to use belts for quite a lot of things. It will be nice to have the logistic system available. So we need requester chests. Oh, that's so nice. And we still have 1 billion, I think. Yeah, 500 million at least, steel chests. So this is good. We have buffer chests. We have, let's do, how many stacks? Let's do 1 stack for now. Okay, 1 stack. And 1 stack, 1 stack, and 1 stack. Good. And that's the active providers. I rarely use them, if at all. So I was asked how the different chests worked, and I'm going to quickly go through that here. And if you want any details, feel free to come to my Discord. Link is in my banner, I believe, on YouTube, and also probably in the description. So the passive provider, no, the storage chest. The storage chest is a chest that is basically used for storage. I use it here. It cannot request items, but it will deliver items to the system and building bots and I believe logistic bots as well. If they don't have anywhere to put something, they put it in the storage chest. So you can filter these, and that can be quite useful, I believe. I don't use it a lot because I like to do requesters and buffer chests for proper sorting of the things. So I'm not that familiar with using them, the filters on the storage chests. But that's the kind of basic chests that put stuff in the logistic system. The red chest, the passive provider chest, is a chest that basically provides items to the logistic system. So I use those a lot. combined with factories because when they are in red chests, the bots can use them to build or to deliver to me. And the reason I don't use the yellow chest, storage chests on all of this is because I don't want other stuff to be put in these boxes than this specific material. And then we have the active provider chests. And that's like the passive provider chests, but it always wants to get rid of its contents. So it will, as you see, this one makes its content available. This one sends its content to the logistic network. So it's trying to get rid of it if a bot can, and it will even empty these out to put the items in the storage chests, I believe. And that's a very strange chest, but it's useful in some manner, like if you have a recycling train, for instance, a train that brings stuff you didn't use back. You can put it in this one, and that chest will always basically be empty. Then we have the massive part of the logistic system. This is the item most people do that research for, and this is a chest that it doesn't deliver items to the network. It requests items from the network. So if this is used like next to factories, for instance. So if we didn't have steel here, we could put a blue chest, or this is probably something most people know, but I'm going to do it anyway. So this thing makes wheels out of iron plates. Now, if we don't have access to iron here, but we do have iron in the logistic system, we can request it and bots will deliver iron here. There's also very easy ways to do this with complicated recipes, say this one, and that's, we can copy this one and paste it here. And now this will request all of the things. And as you see, we had some of the things in the network, so it will be delivered to the chest. And that way we can just do this and this thing will be constructed. So that's very, very useful. The buffer chest is a combined chest. It's basically the easy way to explain it. It's a red and a blue chest at the same time, but it's a bit more complicated than that. So this one can request items, but it will also deliver items to the network. So in many ways, you can use green chests for these. And I am going to, for recycling especially, and I'm going to show you that right now. So let's see. Down here, we have our belt production array. Did I bring them now? Yes, good. And red belts, red belts, we are going to need red belts at some point. So we don't want to use all of them for the blue belts, even though we are recycling. So I'm going to do this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a cable. Cable, a green one, sure. And we connect this one to this one. And this one is going to be enabled if red belts are below, say, 300. Okay, so that means it's off now. It's not working. That's the tiny red light here. So if we empty this chest, it will start working until the chest is at 300, then it will stop. But what we can do with this chest is also request and I'm going to request 10,000 red belts. Oh. 10,000 red belts. Boop and boop. Okay. So now this chest will, if there is red belts in the network, it will end up here. That way, when we upgrade something, it will end up, right now, it will end up in the storage chest. And we don't have any in the storage chest right now, apparently. No, but we do have yellows. So that's a nice way to put it as well, or a nice way to show it off, because this is something we have to do eventually anyway. So this one works as long as belts are below, say, 100. We don't need many yellows. Set, good. Then we open this. Then we find the green chests. That's there. I'm going to sort the hotbar at some point. Good. And now we do a request for yellow belts. That would be like so. Now, all of the yellow belts that are in our system up here are going to be delivered, oh, here we go as well, to this chest. So that means when we upgrade from red to yellow, everything we throw away kind of will end up here, and it can be recycled into red belts. But if I try to build a yellow belt, let's find a yellow belt. Do we have one somewhere? I want to copy a yellow belt. Here, good. So if we want to build it, we still have it in the chest. And apparently we had in our inventory as well. So let's turn off ourselves and do more. There we go. So now they will get it from here and build it. And if we deconstruct, it will go back to this chest. It won't be in the supply chests. So that's how the recycling is done. And one way to do it now is to look at the chests and go like, oh, we have way too many labs at least. So I could put a green chest on the lab construction thingy here, and all the labs would end up there. So eventually I'm probably going to do recycling with most things, and with some things, say wood, the wood we can do a requester. It doesn't have to be a buffer because we never want to deliver wood anywhere, so we just put a requester chest here, for instance, or maybe here as well, doesn't matter. Train is out of fuel. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so that's something we need to fix as well. So, and that means if we do a split and a request and priority input on the wood will be burned first, which means we get rid of it, which is a nice thing. So, fueling of the trains without the fuel. We don't have any fuel right here. And why doesn't it have fuel up here, I wonder? Because this is turned the wrong way. Yeah, that's some major skill going on. So let's put some fuel in it. It's up here. And then we travel back and fix that. We also need, do we need more plastic? Yeah. Oh well. Oh, and looking at the science now, artillery is done in a second. That's very nice. So fuel, fuel, and go. Okay, it went straight away. That's okay, we can join the train, and I guess that was part of the plan anyway, because we want to fix the fueling issue up here. And that's done by, let's see, there, right? Yes, good. Now it's probably going to burn the coal first, which is fine. And then it's going to go with the fuel. I'm really happy with them having more than one slot for fuel, because that means it can fill it with different kinds. Let's see. Everything is working fine up here as well. That's nice. Yeah. So we have the science. We have, let's go back down. Sulfur to base. I'm not sure why we're using sulfur at all, but I guess it's the blue chips. Yeah. Good. Now we aren't doing purple science, and the purple science, we still have loads of it. That's nice. We still have loads of everything, actually. So we probably don't need that much labs going on. We probably don't need that many modules anyway, because artillery is a very expensive science, 2000, and it went quite fast. Yeah. So I guess we didn't conclude. That was the explanation for all the chests, and the most useful ones, or the most used ones, are the passive providers, the red ones, and the blue ones, requesters. That's kind of like the combo: request on one side of the assembling machine and provider on the other, which means you can do a full bot base in that way. And buffers are used for recycling, but it's also used for, say, repairs. So I can place a buffer up here that requests repair kits and turrets. That way, if a turret gets destroyed inside the network here, these are outside, but they might be inside later. That way, the bots don't need to travel as far to find the materials. I think that was one of the big plans with it, to be able to move stuff around, to be able to use it for repairs, for instance, having stuff all over the base, because the buffer chest was introduced to the game a bit later than the other ones. So we also want to do science recycling, and that's going to be done with requester chests. And that's something, looking at the time, we have time for now, so that's something I'm going to do. Requester chest. And so this part, this is green. Let's do it like this. No, I'm going to do it squiggly because that's more copy pastable, like this. So top is green. That's where we want the green to go. And that means the chest will be at the bottom. So this is green, this is red. So this requests red science, all of it, as much as possible. And this requests green science, all of it. Good. And then we do input priority from the right, and we put inserters like so. So any of the red signs we had in the system now will be automatically on the belt. Let's look at this. This is a huge issue. This needs to be fixed right away. Let's see if we can do a copy paste and go here as well, and here and here. And then we help. So here we can see, this is so bad timing, but here we saw some green science be put back into the system. So are the bots going to be able to help this? I think they will. No, they won't be able to rebuild the train tracks and all of the things. But now we have artillery tech, so one of the parts, this is replacement furnaces. So one of the things we're going to do now is make an artillery train. I think the train is going to be more useful than just having the artilleries standing around. We can use bots to move them, but still. Oh, here we have one turret, good. So biters are getting dangerous now. Okay, then we do one here as well. Good. So, because, let's see. Oh, stuff happening. Good, we're getting rid of the last of our modules now because the modules were destroyed. That's too bad. And this one. Our bots aren't doing anything with this because the base is already ordered to do so. I keep repeating that, but I keep that thought goes through my mind every time, that the whole why isn't the bots doing anything? Why aren't? And the reason is because they actually are. It's just slower. Good. So turrets engaged. So we have biter issues, and these biter issues are quite well timed, I believe, because now we have the artillery tech, and that means we have the wagon as well. It's very expensive to make, but that's fine. We also need to set up the production of the artillery shells, and that's explosive cannon shells, and we didn't set up those, but looks like it's very easy to set up, especially now that we have the bots. I'm just going to finish the science recycling, and then that's one of the things that's going to happen. Because we do have, I think we have like all kinds of science in the logistic network. Quickly looking, well, at least we have a bunch of blue, but it looks like that's the only thing we have. So let's set up the blue recycling. Now there are two ways to set up this, and I'm going to show you the other way. That one has its limitations though, and the blue is perfect to show it. We also have a military science. So one way to do it is an extremely simple requester chest like this, and then we request the military science, all of it, and put it on the belt. But that doesn't work if the belt is full, because that way it will prioritize what's being made and not what's in the buffer or in the network. So there we go, all the military science. So I don't really like that way of doing it. That's why this thing is usually more useful, because it works even if the belt is full. And what I did now was bad in all kinds of ways, because this wasn't the military belt. This is the military belt. So we need to do the recycling here, and that means here. So like so. That doesn't work either because we don't have the room for it. Let's see. Sure, beautiful. No. This one can put it out on this belt. Nope. So we can do it up here. Yeah, that's better. And that's a very simple copy paste. We copy this, remove, let's see, we remove this, and then we paste it like this. And then we set the recipe, not red, but the correct one as well. So this one is going to be for blue science. Blue science. And this one is going to be for military science. And I think it's possible to do it like this. Yes. Boop and boop. Okay. So now, if I just trash these, they will end up in the recycling. Nice. And because we aren't using any blue. And, oh, and this is also something. Okay, so I didn't think about this. This is a bad location because this is after the merge into the science system. It's actually better to put it here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to redo that like so, and then we copy this and put it here. And then we make sure it's correct. Military goes on this side, yes, and yes. So then we can remove this, this, and this. Good. And it needs power. And we trash this and this. And then we watch it. Good. So now we do input priority to the left. And this means that this belt will be used before this blue belt. So when we do science, that will happen. What kind of science do we actually need? We do need coveracts at some point, so might as well start. Good. And the other sciences, that would be up here, over here. Let's do that as well. I think we can just do copy paste on this one because we can do it here. Good, and good. And this isn't inside the network. Okay, so we need to extend the network a bit, expand. So the logistic network is the yellow, while the green one is the building network. So you need quite a lot of roboports to be able to use the logistic network like this. So this is purple here, and this one is yellow. It's so nice that we have all the sciences now. So nice. So we have recycling going, and then I was going to do something, but now I forgot what. It was artillery, but I think artillery train, that's going to be the murder train, and it's going to be fun. We're going to annihilate all life basically. Let's look at our turret coverage. It's terrible, but we've done fine so far. So and we actually got the bots to repair the stuff that needed the repairing. And right now, because everything is stopped, of course, we are doing decent on everything, but the bottleneck shifted, so now it's plastic. And plastic is being made here. No wonder it's a bottleneck, because we don't use stack inserters because we didn't have those. So let's fix that. So stack inserters at the plastic. That's the start of the next one. I kind of enjoy looking for bottlenecks, and this is a huge one. And we need here as well. Probably here as well. Maybe not. Don't know. Might as well, because we have a bunch. And yeah. So that's going to fix a lot. We have more modules now, but not many, because this bottleneck is kind of killing us. And we should at some point run out of science as well. But apparently the science is doing just fine. and it's right now extremely fast. So that's nice. So we do fix the bottlenecks, and then we set up for, at some point at least, set up for more power through nuclear power plants. But first, plastic. So we've done the logistic system, we did some recycling, and that was nice actually. It's nice to get stuff done, that kind of stuff. We need to do a bunch more, of course, because optimally all of these chests should be empty, and it's very easy to empty them out. But yeah, we have like 800 steel, for instance. That's ridiculous. We definitely need something to get steel out, and we are missing plastic, but we have plastic in the system, so that's bad. So recycling, plastic, nuclear, and so on. But today we got the logistics systems done, so that's great. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye.